Alright guys, last we have seen how to embed different font family to our page. Now let's see what are the different properties and values with which we can play around. To edit the look and feel of the text on a page, CSS offers a lot of different properties. These properties are mainly categorized into two categories, that is font based properties and text based properties. First of all, we will discuss all the font based properties, and then after we will get into the text based properties. So let's see what are the different font based properties here. The different font based properties are font family, font size, font style, font variant, font weight, line height, and font. At the end we have font, that is the shorthand properties for all of these properties. Okay, let's see the font family properties first, then we'll get into the another properties. To apply font family, I have already connected few font families here, that is Roboto with different font weight, that is from 100 to 900, and I have also here Source Serif Pro with weight 600 and 700. Now let's apply font family property here. I'm applying here to our body font family, from where each and every element will inherit the font family. So let's apply Roboto. That's the font family we have connected to our index.html here, Roboto. Now go to our page and give it a refresh. As we can see here that the font family of our page is changed now to Roboto. There is one more thing about the font family property, is that we can apply multiple values for the font family property with comma separated. Right now, as we can see here that there is just one value for the font family. Actually, we can apply multiple values. Let's say Lato, or we can apply 2, 3, 4, any number of values. So let's say once more, open sans, and at the end we define a fallback value. Okay, now let's save it and then let's check out our page here. No changes. Actually, whenever we apply multiple values, the first value will be our primarily choice. In case the first font family is not available, then the next value will be the alternative choice, and so on here. And at the end here we have sans serif. This is our fallback value. If any of the values declared inside the font family are not available, then this fallback value will be applied. Most commonly fallback values are sans serif or serif. These are the system default font family. We do not see any changes to our page here. It's just because our Roboto font family is right now available. So these values has no effect to our page here. Now let's see another property, that is font size. It's again the font size is the straightforward property. We know from the beginning only how actually we can change the font size. So for example, for H1 let's say font size, let's say 44 px, and for H2 let's say font size 36 pixel. Actually let's change the font family for H1 and H2 also. Let's keep it different from the body font family. Say font family, and then we'll say Source Serif Pro, and at the end Serif, that is the fallback. Now save our file, go to a page here, then give it a refresh. Alright, as we can see here, the font family for H1 and H2 is changed, as well as the font size also. Let's change the font size for paragraph also. Say 24 px. Alright, so this is the font family and font size property in CSS. Now let's see what is the next properties and values. Next we have font style property. The font style property is used to italicize the text or prevent the text from being italicized. Alright, now let's see the font style property on our page. So for the paragraph, let's apply font style, say italic here. Give it a refresh. Alright, as we said, font style italic, the paragraph is now being italicized, as we can see here. Actually, the font style properties accept different font values. The first, that the normal, that's the default, that is normal, no changes, that's the normal. And then we have seen already italic, it italicize the text actually. Then another value for the font style is oblique. Now give it a refresh. The oblique and italic seems same, but these two values are actually different. The italic font style is, like we can say, cursive style. It is being designed by the designer, and the oblique value for the font style is different from the italic. The oblique value is just the slanted version of the font. And at the end we have inherit. Inherit is nothing but it just inherit whatever the parent of this paragraph will be having font style. Give it a refresh, no changes, that is being normal from the beginning only, it is coming normal, so the paragraph inherited normal font style. Alright, next we have font variant property. The font variant property is rarely used. The font variant property accepts three different values, that is small caps, normal and inherit. So now let's apply all of these values one by one inside our page. So let's apply font variant. The font variant property by default, that's the normal. Give it a refresh, no changes, and we have small caps. Let's see what it does. Give it a refresh. The small caps value is occasionally used to make the text in small capitals. As we can see here, the text are in capitals in small sizes. We can also, let's make the small caps to our heading also. So here we have h1 and h2. Let's make them font variant small caps. Save it, then give it a refresh here. As we can see, the text are in capitals, small capitals actually. Alright, at the end for the font variant property is the inherit value. Inherit, again it will inherit from the parent. That's the normal, is just because from the beginning only the normal font variant is coming, so that's why the paragraph is back into the normal style or normal variant. Alright, next we have font weight property. The font weight property is used to make text light or bold. The property accepts either keyword values or numeric values. The keyword values are normal, bold, lighter, bolder and inherit. Let's experiment the keyword values first, then we'll come back the numeric values. So let's say here for our h1 and h2 we'll say font weight, let's say normal, that's a normal, there will be no changes. Now let's say bold, give it a refresh. As we can see, the font get bolded. Actually, let's get rid of this font variant here. Now give it a refresh. Alright, now we can see the font is bold now, and we have all other values also. Lighter, give it a refresh. Actually, we do not see any difference between lighter and normal. Let's check it out. Yeah, we do not see any changes between lighter and normal because we do not have, actually for this font family Source Serif Pro we are having just two font weight, that is 600 and 700, that is the semi bold or bold. We will get into the numeric values again and we'll discuss about what is semi bold and bold. Alright, for the h1 and h2 let's keep it bold. and then for the paragraph we will be changing the values for the font weight. Let's say font weight lighter. As you can see here, the font is totally light here. We have actually bolder also. Let's say bolder here. SC is totally bold, and last value is inherit. That is, again, it will inherit from its parent. Now for the font weight property we have numeric values also. The numeric values are from 100 to 900. That is that we can see here: 100, 200, 300, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 and 900, where 100 is the thinnest one and 900 is the boldest one. The 400 numeric value is the equivalent to normal, and the 700 is equivalent to the bold weight. So let's experiment these values. So right now we will be saying font weight in numeric values. Let's say 100, give it a refresh. That's the lightest one. Now we'll be saying, let's say 900, that will be the boldest one, and in between 400 we have, that is the normal, and then we have 500, 600, 500 little bit bolder, we have 600 also, yeah, and then 700. We are having different weight for these values. Actually, whenever we apply font weight in numeric values, we will have to keep in mind that here what are the different font weights we have selected. Here we have selected for the Roboto 100, 300, 400, 500, 700 and 900. So we can use only these weight for the Roboto, that is 100, 300, 4, 5, 700 and 900. If we will be using say 800, let's see here, let's say 800. Now give it a refresh here. Actually, if that particular weight is not available inside the font family, then it will look into the nearest value around it. For example, here we have 700 and we have applied 800 here. So the nearest value for the 800 is the 900. So that's why the weight has been taken by the paragraph is the 900 actually. Similarly, if we will be applying say 200 here, so it can be either 100 or 300. Let's give it a refresh. That's the lightest one, or 100 value. So this is how font weight work. So we can apply two types of values for the font weight, that is numeric as well as keyword values, where keyword are say like normal, bold, lighter, bolder, inherit, etc. and the numeric values are from 100 to 900. Alright, so now let's see what is the next property. Next we have line height property. The line height property determines the distance between two lines, often referred to as leading. So that's the like design term, leading. It accepts all the general length values. Let's see line height property. Actually, the line height property, first of all let's change the font weight from 200 to 400. That is the normal value for the paragraph here. Yeah, now we'll apply line height. Actually, the standard line height we use is between 1.4 to 1.5. I am saying line height 1.5. Give it a refresh. So here we see the changes. The line height, that means the height of the line is changed now, and so that's why the distance between line is also changed. So how does this line height 1.5 works? The 1.5 or 150% value is the standard value that can be applied for the line height property, which is 1.5 times of the font size of the typeface. Actually, as we can see here, the font size is 24 pixel and line height we have applied 150%, or here we can say 1.5 also. That means the line height will get calculated from the font size. That means the line height will be 1.5 times of the font size. So let's see here, give it a refresh and then inspect our page here. So let's check it out, the line height for paragraph here. let's see here, that is 150%. And what is the computed value? Line height, that is 36 px. So now if we will be multiplying 24 into 1.5 or 150%, we will get 36 px. So that is the standard value for the line height, either 150% or 1.5. No changes. Actually, this line height property 1.5, if we want to apply standard, we will be applying to our body, so that every element will inherit from the body only. So we will not have to apply line height one by one to each and every element. So now give it a refresh. Alright, so that's the line height property. Actually, we can also apply the values in like pixel also. Instead of saying that 1.5 or 150%, we can also say 30 px. Yeah, that's the 36 px. So that's we have applied to our body, line height 36 px. So that's how we apply line height, either 1.5 or 150%. Actually, it is not fixed that we should be applying only 1.5 or 150%. We can apply any values like 1.8 or 1.9 or 2, anything, but the 1.5 or 150% is the standard value for the line height. So usually we keep it in 1.5. All right. Now next we have shorthand font property. The shorthand properties accept all these properties values. For example, that is the first value is the font style, then we have font variant, then we have font weight, then here is the font size, then slash by line height, that is 24 px, and we have font family at the end. So let's apply these all values using shorthand properties. So let's go to our font family, to our body. Let's get rid of this. Let's say font property here, and we'll be saying it goes from left to right. That is the first value will be coming for font style, that is, let's say italic here, and next value will be coming font variant, let's say small caps, font weight, let's say 600, and font size will be saying, let's say 16 px, and then slash will be coming line height, will be saying 1.5, and then at the end we have our font family, let's say Roboto. Now save it and give it a refresh. As we can see, so right now all those font properties are applied using shorthand properties. The first value that we can see here is the italic, that's why we see every text is italic. Next value is we have small cap, that is the font variant. So we can see here each and every text is in small capital. Then we have applied font weight 600, thereafter we have applied font size 16 px and line height 1.5, and at the end we have Roboto font family. So whenever we use shorthand font property, the values of all of these properties are optional except the font size and font family. So whenever we apply shorthand properties, we will have to apply font size and font family, and rest of the values are optional here. Alright, so these are the different font based properties that we can play around while working with the typography on our page.